Just coming into your breathing, softening your eyes. Tuning into your body. Just taking some deep breaths. Doing a scan through your body, noticing how it's feeling. And scanning through your mind. Noticing any busyness and any thoughts, acknowledging it and letting it go. The next hour is for you, for your own self-care. I thought today we would focus on the energy of spring. I've been spending all morning doing my spring cleaning, so I got right into the mood of it all. And I think we often spend a lot of time thinking about spring cleaning our houses and our kitchens and washing floors and things. But it's also a good idea to spring clean our bodies as well. And we can do that simply with things like nourishing our body with fresh, wholesome foods and drinking more warm lemon water to flush out toxins in our bodies. Getting outside in the sunshine and moving more. Our hair and our skin hasn't seen the sun for a while, so things like exfoliation and body brushing, all those things are really good to help spring clean our bodies and freshen us up for the next season and for the new beginnings. So as you go through your yoga practice today, you might think about spring cleaning your body and what things you might like to do, something extra that you maybe forgotten about for a while. So from here, let's begin our yoga practice with an Om. Take a deep breath in and then breathe out all that doesn't serve. Taking another deep breath in. Bring our hands to Anjali Mudra. Om. So through our practice today, we're going to be doing a little bit of work with loosening off our lower backs, a little bit of pigeon pose and some twisting, a little bit of balancing. So remember to always take care of yourself. If there's anything that doesn't feel right or if you need to rest, you can always rest in child's pose or in Savasana. So let's go into child's pose to begin. So coming down with your knees wide and your buttocks down on your heels, gently walk your body forward. If you find this is a little hard on your knees, you can go onto your back and hug your knees up to your chest as an alternative. So with the child's pose, just coming into it, we stay here for 4 or 5 breaths, gradually surrendering into the pose. Just taking notice of your breath and notice of your body, how it's feeling, how you're feeling through the legs and your lower back and through your upper back, and gradually bringing your forehead down towards the mat. Just surrendering into the energies of the spring. On each exhalation, surrendering a little more into the pose, loosening off through our lower backs. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then we'll come up onto all fours, bringing our knees underneath our hips and our hands nicely spread through our fingers. We're going to inhale and lift up into cat and cow. And exhale, bring your spine up towards the ceiling. Just moving through, getting a little bit of movement in right across your spine. As you inhale, lifting your chest and lifting your gaze. And as you exhale, bringing your spine up towards the ceiling, looking through your knees towards your feet, getting a stretch through the chest and through the upper back, through the thoracic area. Do a couple more cycles. And then from here, we'll go into some opening through our shoulders. So staying in the all fours position. I'll just turn around so you can see a little better. We're going to start off taking our gaze to our left hand, and we're going to inhale and lift the left hand up towards the ceiling, taking the gaze with it, opening up through our chest and through our thoracic. And exhale, we're going to bring that hand down underneath, thread it through the right hand and hover. And then we're going to inhale, take it back up. Do a couple more cycles. Just loosening off through any tightness in shoulders and opening up through our chest. And then inhaling, bring the arm all the way up. And on the next exhalation, we're going to bring the hand down, the left hand down to the mat and the left shoulder, and bring our left ear down towards the mat and shuffle our right hand forward. So we're coming down, really stretching out through the scapula on the left side. Staying here for a few breaths. And then we'll inhale, bringing the left hand back to the mat and sliding the right hand back underneath your shoulders again. And then we'll go to the other side, so same thing. So this time, gazing towards your right hand. Inhale as you lift the right hand all the way up towards the ceiling, opening up through the chest, and exhaling, taking the right hand, thread it underneath the left and hover. And then inhale all the way back up again. Opening up through the chest, noticing the twist through the upper back. Inhale all the way back up. And this time we're going to exhale and bring the right hand and shoulder and ear down towards the mat and slide the left hand forward. And really stretching through the shoulder and through the shoulder blade on the right side this time. The right scapula. Staying here for 3 more breaths. As you exhale, surrender a little more into the pose each time. Bringing the ear down towards the mat. And then on the next inhalation, bringing the right hand back to the mat, bringing the hand underneath your shoulders, and then we sit back on our heels if that's comfortable for you. If it's not comfortable to sit like this, you can have your legs out in front. This gives the shoulders a little bit of movement in the backwards direction, really opening up through the shoulders, and then take them back the other way. And then taking the left hand across the body and bring the right hand underneath and give that a nice stretch across your body. And then releasing that left hand and taking the right hand across and stretching through the scapula on the right side. And then from here, we're going to come up onto our knees and inhale, lift our arms all the way up. And then exhaling, coming back down to your feet, coming back into child's pose. Stretching forward, feeling that nice stretch through the lower back. And then coming back to your heels, and we're going to go from side to side. So inhale to the center, and then exhale to one side and then the other. Just let it flow through. It's getting some nice movement into the side of your body. And we'll go one more on each side. Nice. And then we're going to come back to our child's pose again. And we're going to do a little bit of movement through child's pose and through upward dog. So we're going to inhale and bring our hips forward and bring our chest up into an upward dog. And then we're going to exhale into child. Just moving with your breath. So as you inhale, coming forward, stretching through the front of your body, through the hips and through the chest. And then exhaling, coming back to child, having your knees nice and wide. Just tuning into your breath and let your breath initiate the movement. Let's go 3 more cycles. And then when you finish your 3 cycles, just coming back to all fours. Okay, and from here we're going to take the same movement but have a little bit more movement in it. So we're going to go this time from downward dog to upward dog. So as we exhale, we're going to turn our toes under and stretch up into a downward dog. And from here, let's just stretch here, take a few breaths in downward dog, get our body used to this position. So we're stretching through the back of the legs now, bringing the heels down towards the mat, walking them down one by one. And then we're going to take our hands a little forward and inhale, come into an upward dog. So you can have your knees off the mat or on the mat. You choose which one works best for you today. And then we're going to exhale back to downward dog. So we're going to flow through this another 3 or 4 times, just taking it through at your own pace. Inhale as you bring your chest forward, lifting your gaze into the upward dog, and exhale as you roll over your toes and stretching back, bringing the hips towards the ceiling for downward dog. Let's go one more cycle. So noticing quite a lot of stretch through the back of your legs, stretching through the shoulders, a little bit of strength required in the shoulders as well. And then we're going to come back to neutral position again. And from here, we're going to be lifting our alternate legs. So we'll start off with left leg, right hand. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale and lift and lengthen our right hand, left leg, pointing the toes down towards the mat. And exhale, we're going to bring our knee and elbow together and inhale back up again. So as we bring the elbows and knees together into tiger pose, you feel some more stretching through the spine. This one's good for the hips, strengthening through the hips, keeping your body nice and stable. So it requires a bit of core strength to keep it stable. As you inhale and lift and lengthen through the hand and the foot, squeezing the buttocks. Let's go 2 more rounds. And then holding that left leg, right arm out. We're going to bend the left knee and bring the foot over towards the right side of the mat and take our right hand back to the foot and stretch up. So stretching up, opening up through the chest and pulling the foot away from the hand, getting a stretch through the right thigh, and then release that back to the mat. And we'll go into child's pose, just catching our breath again. Just taking a few breaths here. Just getting our breath nice and stable again. It's quite an active movement, that one. And coming back to your intention for your practice around spring cleaning your body and tuning into the beautiful new spring energy. And then inhale, come back up to all fours, and we'll take it up over to the other side. So as we inhale, we're going to lift our left hand and our right leg. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the knee and elbow together into tiger curl. So continue on with your own breath. Inhaling as you lift and lengthen, pointing the toes down towards the mat, squeezing through the buttocks. And exhale as you bring your elbow to your knee. Let's continue on for a couple more rounds. At your own pace, use your own breath. And we'll go one more round. And then we're going to lift and lengthen, holding that hand out, lengthening through the hand and the foot. And we're going to bend the right knee and take the foot over to the left side of the mat like a scorpion, and take our left hand back to grab onto your foot. And then inhale, lift and lengthen through the chest and stretching through the thigh on the right side. That's it, nice. And then release back to the mat. And we'll go back to child's pose. Just have a little rest again. Taking a few deep breaths here. Just catching your breath. And then coming up into downward dog, tucking your toes under, bringing your hips up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to step or jump forward into forward bend. Staying here for a few breaths, just feeling that nice stretch through the back of the legs and the lower back and the upper back. Just tuning back into your breath. On each exhalation, surrendering a little more into the forward bend. And on the next inhalation, coming all the way up. And bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra. Okay. From here, we're going to go into our sun salute cycle. So you're all really familiar with this. You can go at your own pace if you like, or you can come with me. From here, we're going to move ourselves to the top of the mat. We're going to inhale, lift our arms and lift our chest, lengthening through the front of the body, and exhaling, folding forward. And then as we inhale, we're going to lift the spine and exhale, stepping back into a high plank. Or if you prefer, you can take your knees down to a low plank and then slowly bending your elbows, bringing your body down to the mat. Inhale, lift up into an upward dog. And then exhale, tucking your toes under, coming to downward dog. And then taking your gaze towards your hands and step forward into a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And exhale, draw your chest into your legs. And then inhale, come all the way back up. It's one cycle. Nice work, everyone. Let's go for a couple more cycles. So we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, stepping back into high plank or low plank. And then slowly lowering your body down to the mat as you exhale. Inhale, lift through the chest into an upward dog. And then exhale, tucking your toes under into downward dog. Bringing your gaze towards your hands, stepping forward into forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, draw your chest towards your legs. And then inhale, come all the way back up and hands to Anjali Mudra. We'll go one more cycle. See if you can stay with it. So inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen through your chest and your spine. And exhale, stepping back into high plank or low plank. And then exhale, slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, lift through the chest into an upward dog. And then exhale, tucking your toes under to downward dog. Take your gaze forward and then step forward into forward bend. Inhale as you lift and lengthen through your chest, noticing that stretch through the back of your spine. Exhale, draw your chest towards your legs. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Nice. So just resting in Anjali Mudra there, just softening your eyes, taking a few deep breaths. Okay, from here we're going to do a little bit of balancing. So we start off with our feet underneath our hips, so hip width apart, opening up through our toes, and just moving our hips around in a little circle so you notice where the 3 anchor points are on each foot. That's it, and go the other way so you can feel them all there. And from here we're going to go into a variation of a tree pose. So we're going to pick up our left foot and we're going to bring it up towards our body, in front of our body. Now you can hang on to a wall or something next to you if you wish. And from here we're going to put a little bend in the right knee and draw our chest forward. So we're getting a balancing pose but also a nice stretch through the left side of the buttocks. Finding your gaze point. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Noticing that stretch through the left buttocks. And 1 more breath. And then lift and lengthen. And give that a little shake. And we'll go to the other side. So again, before we start on the balancing pose, moving your hips in a circular direction, just noticing where the anchor points are on your feet and spreading your toes out nice and wide. And then finding your drishti point or your gaze point, and we're going to lift up the right foot, bring it across your body. Now from here we're going to bend our left leg a little and then take our body forward, taking another 3 breaths here. Just noticing that stretch through the right hip and through the right glute. Also noticing all the little stabilizers around your left foot and your left ankle. Just helping to strengthen all of those. Taking 1 more step here, 1 more breath here. And then inhale, coming back. Nice. Give that a little shake. And then from here we're going to go into our Warrior 1 sequence. So we're going to step to the back of our mat and turn the left foot out. And we're going to step forward with the right foot. Just a comfortable step forward. As we inhale, we're going to lift our arms and lift our chest. Our hips and shoulders are in line and our right knee is bent over the top of our right ankle. And then from here, we're going to take our left hand back and right hand forward into a Warrior 2. and really lengthening through the hands, feeling that stretch through the chest, and also the strength through the right leg needed for this one. And then from here, we're going to bring both hands behind us into a clasp position, and we're going to lengthen that right leg and bring our chest forward, and then bring our hands up into a humble warrior. Taking a few breaths here and noticing the stretch through the chest and the shoulders, as well as through the hamstrings on the right leg. Just taking 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to release our hands down to the mat. If you have a block, you could use a block here to support your hands. If you don't have a block, that's fine. You can just place them down towards the floor. And from here, we're going to inhale. We're going to lift and lengthen our left hand and take our gaze with it as we open up through the chest, and also notice a stretch through the back of the right leg. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then releasing the left hand down to the mat. And we're going to do a reverse triangle, taking the right hand up towards the ceiling and take our gaze with it into a reverse triangle. And you might notice a stretch through the right leg and through the right buttocks. Also opening up through the chest, notice a stretch and opening of the upper thoracic. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then release your hands to the mat. And we're going to inhale, come back up, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, and then step forward. Bring your legs together, give them a little shake. They've had quite a big stretch there. Good. Let's go to the other side. So coming back to the back of the mat again. Right foot turned out a little, left foot stepping comfortably forward. We're going to inhale, lift our chest and lift our gaze towards the ceiling, bringing our arms up, bending the left knee so the left knee is over the left ankle. Let's take a breath or 2 here and notice the stretch through the hip on the right side, and then taking the left hand forward and the right hand back into Warrior 2, lengthening through the hands. Let's take a couple of breaths here, and again notice how that feels through your body, feeling some stretch through your chest and also through the hips, and feel the strength required in the left thigh. And then from here, bringing both hands towards the back, clasping them and lengthening through the left leg. And bringing your chest down towards the left leg and the hands up from your back into Humble Warrior. We're taking 3 breaths here, and notice the stretch through the back of your left leg, through your shoulders and through the buttock on the left side. Gazing down towards your left toes, and then releasing your hands down to the mat, to the inside of the foot. And from here, we're going to inhale and lift our right hand up towards the ceiling and take our eyes with it. So we open up through the chest as we look up towards the right hand, and noticing the stretch through the back of the left leg and stretching through the chest as you really open up and look up towards that hand. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then release the right hand down to the mat. And then we're going to go into a twisted triangle, taking the left hand up towards the ceiling. Take the gaze with it. And noticing that stretch through the back of the left leg and opening through the chest and the upper thoracic. Let's go 1 more breath here. And then release your hand back to the mat. And they're going to inhale, lift up, and bring our hands back to Anjali Mudra and give our legs a little shake. Good work. Okay, from here, we'll do a little bit more balancing. This time we're going to go into an aeroplane pose. So we're going to come down to the back of our mat and we're going to inhale and lift our arms up, take our gaze up, and then exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to the mat and walk them a little forward. So you're coming into a downward dog type position. And then we're going to lift our left foot up off the mat, coming up into a three-legged dog. And then bending that foot across to the right side, noticing that stretch through the front of the hip on the left side. Just taking another breath here, and then bringing that foot back down to the mat. And then we're going to go to the other side. So from here, we're going to lift up into a three-legged dog on the right side. And then bending that right knee and bringing the foot across to the left side. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And then releasing that one down to the mat. Walking your hands back up towards your feet into a forward fold. Just warming up our spine. And then coming all the way back up. And from here, we're going to take left foot back, right foot forward, and bring our hands down on the outside of the right foot. And we're going to lift our left foot up off the mat into a split, opening up through the toes on the right foot. Notice a drishti point or a gaze point about 1 meter in front of your mat. And when you feel comfortable, gently taking the hands up off the mat and coming to aeroplane. If you feel you need to, you can bring your left toe back down. Staying for 2 more breaths. And then gently bring the left foot down to the mat and bring your hands back up. Good work. And then we'll go to the other side. Give your legs a little shake. So we'll take our right foot out slightly. And we're going to step forward with our left foot. Bring your hands all the way up. And then folding forward, bring your hands to frame that left foot. And as you do, lifting the right foot up into a split. And then opening up through the toes on your left foot. Gazing your drishti point about 1 meter in front of the mat. And when you feel comfortable, gently bringing your hands up off the mat into aeroplane. Keeping your eyes on that drishti point. Staying for a couple more breaths. Bring your right toe down if you need to. And then slowly bring the toe down and bring the arms up. Nice work. They're quite challenging, those ones. Okay, from here we're going to come down to the mat into some sitting poses. So we'll start off with Paschimottanasana, which is a seated forward fold. We're going to have our back of our legs along the mat with our toes pointing up. We're going to inhale, lift our arms up. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. And if you can bring your hands down to your toes, do so. If not, bring them to your ankles or your shins. I'm going to stay here for 5 breaths, gazing towards the toes. And on each exhalation, bringing your body a little more into the pose, a little more surrendering on each exhalation. And coming back to your intention again. And then from here, we're going to inhale, release the pose, stretching our spine up towards the ceiling. And we're going to tuck that left foot next to our right leg. And then we're going to exhale as we fold forward and bring our hands down either to our right foot, our right ankle, or our right shin. And from here, we're going to stay for 5 breaths. So we're into a forward fold position, but with a slight change in the legs. And again, each time you exhale, bringing your body a little more into the pose and feeling that stretch through the lower back and through the inner thigh on the left side and through the hamstrings on the right leg. Gazing towards your right toes. And then release. Inhale, bring your hands all the way back up to the ceiling. And then exhale, we're going to swap our legs over. So bringing the right foot next to the left leg and bringing the knee out to the side. If you find that your knee's sitting up a lot, you can put a cushion or a block under it to give you a little more support. And coming up onto your sit bones. Inhale, lifting your arms up, and exhaling, folding forward. And at this point, you may notice that you've got a different tightness on the other side. So you might be looser on this side, or you might find that you're a little tighter. So we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. And again, on each exhalation, just surrendering a little more into the pose. Gazing towards your left toes. And then inhale, lifting your arms towards the ceiling and bringing both legs out in front. Just coming back up onto your sit bones again. And we're going to fold forward one more time. And this time we're going to hold it for 3 breaths. And you may notice you've got a whole lot more flexibility now that you've lengthened through both sides. So bringing your gaze towards your toes, and again, just surrender your body forward on each exhalation. And then from here, we're going to lay back down onto our backs and hug our knees to our chest into Apanasana, and moving our body in a circular direction or backwards and forwards, whatever is right for you, whatever feels right for your spine. And then bringing your feet down to the mat. And from here, we're going to take our arms straight out from our shoulders. And we're going to exhale and take our knees to the right, but look to the left. Feeling a nice stretch through the left side of the body. Keeping our shoulders on the mat so we get a stretch through our chest as well. Just taking 3 more breaths here. And then on your next inhalation, bringing your knees back to center and bring your gaze to center. And then exhale, knees to the left and gaze to the right. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. And again, each exhalation, relaxing a little more into the twist and noticing the twist down the right side of your body. Then inhaling back to the center. And we'll take it into a bridge pose. From here, bringing your heels close to your buttocks. And we're going to lift up our hips, take them up towards the ceiling. And at the same time, we're going to bring our hands over our head like backstroke, all the way to the mat behind, in front of our head. And then as we exhale, we're going to slowly lower our spine down to our body and take our arms out to the side and just swoop them back towards your body like you're swimming. And then inhale, coming back up again, lifting your hands up over your head to the mat behind, really stretching up through the hips, squeezing the buttocks. And as you exhale, slowly lowering your spine vertebrae by vertebrae and swooping your hands along the floor back to the side. Let's go 4 more rounds. Stay at your own pace, using your breath to initiate the movement. Just noticing that nice loosening up through the shoulders and the hips. Inhale as you lift, and exhale as you slowly lower your body back to the floor. Let's go a couple more rounds. And from here, we're going to roll back onto our tummies and bring our hands underneath our hips into locust pose. So we're going to inhale and we're going to squeeze our butt and lift our feet off the mat. I'm going to hold it here for 3 breaths, feeling that deep stretch through the hips and lower back and buttocks. And then release. Then bringing our hands beside us but up off the mat, we're going to inhale and lift our chest up into snake pose for 3 breaths. And then release back to the mat, bringing our forehead down to the mat and bringing our hands in front. And from here, we're going to bend our left knee and take our left hand back towards the foot. And then we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen. So we're lifting through the chest and lengthening through the leg as you pull the leg against the hand, feeling that stretch through the front of your thigh. And then exhaling and bringing your foot and hand back to the mat. And then we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to bend our right knee and then we're going to swoop our hand back to grab onto the right foot and inhale, lift through a chest and lengthen through that leg on the right side, noticing the stretch through the quad. And then keep hold of that leg as you release your body back to the mat and then swoop back to bend the left leg and have your hands around the left foot. And then we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen through our chest and through our legs. And just hold that for 3 breaths. This is a full boat pose. And then release both feet, coming back to the mat. And then from here, we're going to go into a child's pose first, just releasing the spine from that back bend that we just did as part of that stretch, releasing our spine back the other way. So this is called a counter pose. And then from here, coming up onto all fours and tucking your toes under, and we'll take it up to a downward dog. And from here, we're going to stay here for about 3 breaths, and then walking our heels down towards the mat, just really stretching out our back after that, those twists that we've done and the back bends that we've done. And releasing your knees to the mat. And we'll do a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, lift through the chest, lift your gaze, and exhale, bringing your spine up towards the ceiling and your gaze through your legs towards your feet. Just doing that for a couple of breaths. And then from here, we're going to go into our nice relaxing yoga nidra. So laying back on your back into a really comfortable position in savasana. So you might like to put a cushion behind your knees. You might like to have a blanket over you or a warm top. Or put your socks on. And then coming down on your back, resting in savasana. Noticing the floor beneath you, supporting you in your practice. Taking 3 deep relaxing breaths, relaxing your body, surrendering to the earth and letting the earth and its beautiful spring vibrations nurture you through your yoga nidra. You've just done some amazing movements to spring clean your body and contemplating some of the things you're going to take with you. Being aware of the sounds in the distance and moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the sound. Be aware of your physical body lying in Savasana. Notice your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, your arms close to your body and fingers away from your mat, as comfortable as possible. Become aware of your natural breath, keeping it completely spontaneous. Repeat your intention mentally 3 times with feeling, and rotating your consciousness around your body, starting with the right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake, rotating your consciousness around the left side of your body, your left hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to the back of your body, heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, whole spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, center of your eyebrow, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Check your awareness that you're still awake. Awakening the feeling of warmth within your body. Your whole body is warm. Your legs are warm. Your arms are warm. Your whole body is warm. Now awaken the feeling of coolness in your body. Your legs are cool. Your arms are cool. Your whole body is cool. Bring your awareness to the front of your closed eyes. Imagine the following objects as they are named: a setting sun, a red rose, a beautiful jasmine bush, the gorgeous orange clovey lilies, new palm fronds, the smell of the rain, the sound of the ocean, an elephant, an eagle, a sunrise, a beautiful garden, and a relaxing bath. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your resolve again 3 times. And bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, aware of the room that you're in. The surrounding floor, ceiling, the sounds inside the room, the sounds outside the room. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl once. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Gently rolling to one side, taking a few breaths. And coming to a comfortable seated position. Thank you for being here today, for yourself and for each other, for our beautiful yoga community. Being conscious of your body and the things that you might like to do to spring clean and get yourself sparkly shiny for summer. Notice your body and your mind and taking that beautiful feeling with you for the rest of your afternoon. Drinking lots of water. We'll bring our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts, and to our lips for kind words, and to our heart for a kind heart. Paying respects. Namaste. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Oh, that's good. No
Thank you,
barking
Jenny.
dogs today.